Hello and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. It's a brand new year. If you are here for art as well, we already had a New Year chat on Friday, but if you're only here for BookTube, then it's been 3 weeks. The plan for today, I am going to go through 9 books that are definitely on my to-be-read list, my TBR, for this year, for 2021. You will notice my TBR shelf is looking a little picked over. That's not because I finished that many over the break, that's because I have a pile sitting right over here in front of us. I have written a blog post to go along with this, so if you would rather read the blog post or if you want to check it out after to get the links, that kind of stuff, that's in the description box and in the pinned comment down below. If you want to hear more about my goals for 2021 in general, I did kind of cover that in my closing videos for book and art stuff at the end of December, but I also did a big goals post on the blog back on Wednesday. I'll link that one as well. So of course I have a whole lot of books to read in 2021, most of them I probably don't even know yet, and January and February are still really crazy for the blog reading schedule because those months are still affected by when I first got into the blog tour stuff and was not recording the books that I volunteered to review until it was confirmed. So then I would end up with too much stuff in the same week because I didn't write it down soon enough. Lesson learned. But after that, I'm making sure that my calendar is a little more free so I can get more of the other stuff I want to read in there. So today's TBR list, I'm going to talk about 9 of the titles that were up here on the TBR shelf. Most of them will go back up here until it's their turn. This does not include tour reads. It does not include all of the digital book copies I have on my to-be-read list. This is just 9 books from up here on the physical TBR shelf that I am definitely prioritizing as soon as I can get to them here in 2021. Number 1, we have Omens by Kelley Armstrong. So this is a YA title, I believe. My sister recommended this to me, really wanted me to read it in kind of early-ish December. And then Mom decided she was going to Amazon gift me some books. Asked Jess, what was that book you recommended? Here it is. It showed up. So yes, Jess, it's here. I know you've asked me multiple times over the phone already if I've read it yet. January's insane. February's also kind of insane. But as soon as I'm done with this video, this is coming back downstairs with me. This will be sitting by the couch with a very select few others until it gets read. It's not going back up here. It's not going back on the shelf until it's read. Next up, this Golden Flame by Emily Victoria. If you are not aware, I am a part of the HarperCollins Canada Influencer team, the Influencer program, and I am in particular on the YA team. On social media, that's often shortened to the HCC Frenzy. We had a big Zoom call event back in December where we previewed a whole bunch of the titles from the winter catalog. This one was on it. All of us who attended were told that we would be sent one arc. It would be a random title from the preview event. Nobody got to pick. The lady organizing it, my contact Marisol, she didn't know ahead of time who was getting what. Coincidentally, I got this. This is the one I was most excited about from the winter catalog, besides perhaps Witches Steeped in Gold. Keep an eye out for that one, looks awesome. But this one also publishes on my birthday on February 2nd, so that's really cool. And I also got approved for it on both Edelweiss and NetGalley, so I have digital arcs from 2 different places, and now a physical arc. Look, it says uncorrected proof. It's legit, it's an arc. This is only the second time I got a book that says that it's an arc. The first time was over here, Mages Unbound. So cool, so excited about this one. This one's also going back downstairs with me to read it as soon as possible. I have a few things scheduled on the blog on my birthday, and there's a couple other arcs that I'm supposed to be reviewing that release that day, if not that week. But this is my arc priority that week. I want to get this one read ahead of time so I can actually put the review out that week, if not that day. All those explosions were someone else's fault. This is James Allen Gardner. This guy has written forwards for this guy, Robert J. Sawyer, my favorite author. So you'd think he would have been on my radar before now, but he wasn't. This book was published in 2017, if I'm not mistaken, and I found it midway through last year in the bargain pile. I can't wait to read this one. This is a group of college students who randomly end up with superpowers, and they go out, they're vigilantes. It's apparently the start of a series. I don't know if the series has more in it. Oh, and look, Robert J. Sawyer has a blurb about it on the back. I am so excited about this one. I was excited about it when I found it and bought it last year, and I haven't got to it yet. So this is on the definitely reading in 2021, sometime when I have time list. Number 4, you've seen me hold this one up on the channel before when I did my first mail time video. This is Psycho Hose Beast from Outer Space by C.D. Gallant-King. This was the first author who contacted me for a review, who was willing to send a physical copy of the book. So thankful for that. So sorry that I haven't actually read it yet. This one will also be coming downstairs to sit by the couch because it's time. This is set in a fictional version of CD's hometown here in Newfoundland, and I love everything that, all the information you can get on the cover. I love it. I love the title. I love the cover. We got a very typical bayman floating in the bay. I love the synopsis. You can go read the synopsis on the blog post. I'm even intrigued by his name. Gallant here? Replace that T with a D, and that's my maiden name. And then King, that's one of the Irish clans in my grandmother's line. Maybe we're even related. Who knows? Really excited about this one. This one definitely getting read as soon as I can. Ink and Sigil by Hearne. If you have dug around in my blog, or if you followed me on the other book channel I attempted to start middle of last year, then you might have seen me cover Hearne when I talked about authors I no longer read. The reason he was on my list then, but he's right here now with a new book, is because these books down here, the Iron Druid Chronicles, I loved that series. And when he abruptly ended that one, the last book didn't seem like the end of the series. I didn't see announcements ahead of time it would be the last one. I was so mad it had ended, and I wasn't intrigued by his new project. I didn't think I would ever read it, and I thought he was embarking on a long new series with these new characters. Maybe that was his original plan, and I'm remembering correctly, or maybe I just assumed that and missed some details, but it turned out to be a duology. He only wrote 2 books. And now this is the start of a brand new series, Ink and Sigil, first book name and the series name. This is a brand new character, brand new story arc, but it's set in the same alternate history version of our world as the Iron Druid Chronicles, which also means we're probably going to get cameos from more minor characters. I am just so looking forward to reading this one. This was published in August, and I had it pre-ordered, so I got it through Amazon. It came very shortly after publication day. Actually, this was the last book I ordered through Amazon that actually arrived in a decent amount of time. The Cyborg Tinker is finally here, by the way. And the delivery guys left it in the snow while we were at the cabin over New Year's. I was not impressed, but it survived. Published November 17th. Pre-ordered in June. I was on her street team. I got the copy over New Year's. Thanks, Amazon. But yeah, very excited for this. I'm so looking forward to finally having room in my schedule again for things I want to read, because this has been waiting for almost half a year already. I need to read it. Number 6. This one has never been up here on the TBR shelf because it's Robert J. Sawyer. It's been living right here in this spot with my other Robert J. Sawyer books. This was published in April, and I got it right away as well. He's my favorite author. This one was really hyped. I was really excited for it. And once again, the blog and my channel efforts with the books got in the way because I didn't schedule myself appropriately. So I'm really looking forward to having a chance to finally read the latest book by my favorite author. You know, hopefully before he publishes another one. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This is the other book that my mom Amazon gifted me for Christmas that my sister recommended. I have no idea who this author is, who this series is. This was published in 2018, so slightly before I started paying attention to YA again. But this quote on the cover here is from Leigh Bardugo, so it must be good. Really looking forward to this one too. Not as much as Omens, because Omens is the one Jess raved about, so Omens is going downstairs with me today. This is going back up here, but it's getting read this year. Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow. This is the first book in the Nevermore series by Jessica Townsend. This one has been recommended to me so many times, particularly last year after rolling tripled and quadrupled down on all of her hate speech. Recommended as a replacement for the Harry Potter series. Now this is quite the chunk of a book, but it's middle grade, so it should read easy. The font's pretty big, the margins are pretty big. It's middle grade level. I just need a chance to get into it. And then buy the other books, because I believe there's 4 in the series now. This is not a sticker I could peel off, by the way. This was actually printed into the cover. $4.99. It's not $4.99 on Canadian Amazon anymore. They must have sold through this stock. They must have had to sell it for this because it was printed on the cover. Last but not least, number 9, The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. This is the first book in the Gentleman Bastards series. This is the one that booktuber Murphy Napier is constantly raving about and recommending, and it was because of discovering her in the last year and hearing how much she loved it that I decided to order this one time when I needed to add a few more dollars to my Amazon order to get some add-on item or something, I don't know. And then it arrived and I discovered that I already had a copy. In my defense, if you're just glancing at this, you're not really reading the blurb on it, you're not reading the synopsis, it looks like it could be a historical romance. My mom reads historical romances and crime thrillers. When my mom comes out here to visit, if she finished a book on the flight over here, she'll leave it behind because she thinks it's a good book and I should read it. And I don't read her genres. I'm sorry, Mom. But I thought that this was a historical romance that she had left behind, so I had it tucked away in the cupboard over there. That's why I didn't know I had it and buy it again. But yeah, definitely reading this one this year. Finally. It was only published in 2006? 2006, year I graduated high school. I need to read it. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back, for coming around if this is your first time here. Tell me what's on your TBR list this year. Is it any of these? Have I inspired you to put any of these on your list? What else should I definitely read this year? And definitely check out those links I'm going to have in the description box and the pinned comment. I do have that companion post on the blog for this video, and I have my goals that I wrote last Wednesday. If you're looking for more to watch, I've got some suggestions up here on the left side of the screen. Don't forget to like, comment, maybe even subscribe, and if you like living life creatively, whatever that means to you, I'd love to have you along for the ride. Bye guys!